Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm installing, testing and reviewing the Convertible Percussions TB8 trigger in response to a request from someone on the vdrums.com forum. And spoiler alert, it was a real freaking headache, to the point where I considered actually not putting out this video at all. But more on that later. I'll be doing some playing examples with my PearlMimic Pro, Efnote and 2-box modules at the end of this video, so please stay tuned for that. So about a year ago I bought a whole set of these triggers and did an 8-week conversion for my daughter, made a drum kit for her, and frankly they all worked fine, which is why I was a little nonplussed when I started to install this one, which was out of the same batch, the same one that you can see on screen, but more on that soon. So I'm starting out by trying to convert this 10-inch rack tom. The design of the convertible percussion triggers is quite simple, as you can see. The metal trigger, piezo and cone sit on a metal bolt that passes through what is essentially a metal bracket. You can loosen or tighten the bolt to adjust the position of the trigger assembly, up, down, side to side. The rim piezo was attached to the corner of the bracket closest to where you would attach it to the lug screws. It comes with a jack socket hardwired to both piezos. For this one, I've decided to install the trigger assembly off-center to minimize hot spotting, but you can of course move it wherever you want within the shell. Just keep in mind that you're limited by the width of the bracket itself, which will be frankly too big for 8-inch shells and will probably be too small for anything over 14 inches. So now that we've finished this first try, let's plug it in and try it out.
A few moments later.
So this baffling thing occurred. I plugged it in and played it briefly and was getting no signal at all, or not much, out of any of the modules I plugged it into. So I've opened it up, and as you can see, the cone itself has actually delaminated from the piezo and the mounting post. And the piezo now seems to be actually damaged. It certainly wasn't before when I installed it. Oh well, I think. Perhaps I just got a dud one. Actually have another unused in a box, so I figure let's have another go. This time with a different size shell, just for fun. So this spare one that I have doesn't have a rim piezo, so you can see that I'm wiring on a boy-drums rim piezo that I'll stick on with double-sided tape on the rim. But other than that, the install goes as normal with this second option. Same process for the conversion. And second time's a charm, right? So I finish the conversion and plug it in. 10 minutes later. So here we are again. This time with another delamination, causing one of the wires to disconnect from the piezo. 2 out of 2. An epic fail, I'm sure you can agree. However, I'm not one to give up, and I promised you a review, so you're damn well going to get a review.
One eternity later.
So here is the cute, hot pink 12-inch A2E snare that I built for my daughter's electronic drum kit using Convertible Percussions triggers, and I know that this one definitely works. So let's test it out and see how it goes with all my modules, and I'll give you my overall thoughts right at the end of this video. Okay, review time. So what do I think? So hard to say given that 2 triggers spectacularly failed on me, to the point where I almost gave up putting out this video at all. These triggers have been sitting in a box for a while, and whilst they've been stored very carefully, maybe the glue and the solder have aged? Not sure. And look, your mileage may vary, so please don't take these failures as necessarily indicative of the quality of the product. This is simply what's happened in my case, but I did think that it was worth you seeing my experience for better or worse. As for triggering with the drum that actually worked, it triggered well with the Mimic Pro, and so that isn't a bad option if you use that module. As for the Efnote, I'm really not surprised that the triggering wasn't very good. These modules are really optimised for multiple sensors around the edge of the pad. Triggering with the 2-box wasn't too bad after I ironed out some issues, but it really didn't blow me away, and I would definitely recommend other triggers over this one. Pros, these are pretty cost-effective triggers. And cons, well, values you could well and truly see, and there is some lack of optimization for certain modules. If you enjoyed this video or would like to see more, please subscribe for all things eDrums, trigger reviews, and more acoustic to electronic conversions.